Color. Alright. I'll be eating during this. It's a little late for me to start, but couldn't be helped. Work had problems. Get my Dyson going on. And we will, let's see, what is the endeavors? Complete the defense of Starbase One. That's a fun one, I think, if I remember correctly. I'll go that way. I think that was like a TFO thing for a while, like an event TFO. Tonight's agenda, nothing but just play. That's it. You came for anything else? Nothing else gonna happen. Hell, I probably won't even put this one on YouTube. A few videos ago that I uploaded, they got 0 views. I'm like, nah, it ain't worth it. This is recording though, right? Yeah, it's recording. Oh, I got a new sound. And they found this very cool. I don't know.
I have had enough of you!
That may be a little loud. Might need to lower the volume on it. Let's see. That there. Edit. Nope. Well, yeah. Let's lower that down to 50. Yeah, there we go. Just playing, goofing off tonight. Nothing major. May check out a few things, but you know, because I want to kind of watch some TV later on. And was it something else today? I was expecting to be off work tomorrow, but store needs. That's what happens there. Freaking got something I can't eat with one hand. Enemy target. Okay, got that one done. Yester morning, whenever I went to almost go to bed, which was like, maybe 18 hours plus ago. I want to say, no, let's see. It had to have been like maybe 22 hours ago or something. I have Jason Mewes on my list of like Twitch people I follow and watch. J Mewes. You know, he's the guy from the Clerks movies, Mallrats, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. You know, a bunch of those cool movies that Kevin Smith made. And he was he popped on like about like I guess it would be 6 something his time, 6:30 in the morning his time, to play some Fortnite with some fans and stuff. And he's on like day 8 of Clerks 3 filming, which is exciting because I like Clerks. And I find that very interesting. If anybody else does, it's, you know, if not, whatever, it doesn't matter. I mean, everyone's got their own little things they like to watch and stuff. And now tonight, it's mostly like right at closing time. We had a customer that came in like a few minutes before, and we're supposed to allow them in, and it took like 15 to 30 minutes to shop. In which case, then we have to do everything in the evening, you know, shut it down and all that kind of stuff, which at most can take 30 minutes itself, and then I'll drive all the way home after that. But I didn't get in until a lot later than usual. I'm just putting me behind on all this. Starting to get that Minecraft itch, you know, to play Minecraft again. Gotta get motivated to play. And I think I got that motivation. So while I do like playing this game, I may just continue to play it like an offline thing. Well, no, you know, like not recording it, I don't know. Or maybe I will, who knows? I know if I don't get like enough rest from work, though, I'm gonna be playing nothing. I'm coming straight home and going to bed, I know that. I almost did it tonight. Because we're under new management now, and I feel stressed from it. Changes that we'll probably have to go through and the differences. I've somewhat agreed to be demoted today from a full-time position to part-time because I don't really like full-time stuff. And I've never taken my vacation time anyway from full-time, so. And I don't go for the benefit package because I think that's just bullshit anyway. Guess 10 years is a good run from what I've been doing. I got the V-Rex coming. I wonder if we can make it over there before everybody destroys it with one wave of their hand, Thanos. We are eating Stouffer's lasagna. And there's nothing else to eat. There's Stouffer's. Brought to you by me. Last night after the session, I got back on and my other characters to do their Dyson sphere stuff to get more dilithium, and that put them behind about maybe almost 4 hours. So I have to catch them back up to normal time, like I'm not my normal order. See that Trizander or Trizander? Trizander, I guess. I don't know how. Like Trizander. They're he's got his thing going on right now on his channel. Go check that out, because this is going to be boring. I'm all about playing the boring game. So all of you in Twitch land that watch these, and all of you on YouTube that watch the
all 3 silos are under Allied control. Excellent work.
That watch the continued version of this, which is just exported over.
Troops inbound.
Give me a comment about if you like watching this or not. You know, if you even care about anything that I provide for the world out there, community-wise. Hey, I got some. I gotta go just take care of those points there, those credits. Enough. Yeah, this lasagna's nasty for some reason. I may not eat all of it. So I'm not one to waste food, but you can't. So I don't know when I'm going to be off work again. In hell, anybody out there care about watching Minecraft played more? Or so I just got started with Ark Survival Evolved. You know, I've only made a shack on there and got leather pants and a shirt or something. That's about as far as I got. It's this big. I'm playing the island, which is the only thing to play at the moment, because I haven't bought any of the expansion packs or season passes. Because I want to explore the base game first anyway, to check it out. Hell, I got Space Engineers too. I need to update that, or 7 Days to Die. I got that. Lego Worlds. Could play that. Let's check out my Michael Myers character to see if he's caught up with the time. It may be a little too late for him to do the capturing. Yeah, 40 minutes until I can use him for that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back, and I think my Jim Hadar Kirok might be more up to snuff right now for that. Yeah.
Back to your stations. The Voth have returned.
Back to your station. Turn the radio back on. Yeah. Can't ever kill anything correctly. Turn off that damn running shit. Turn it off. Scanning on console. I've already scanned it 1,000 times. I know it's there. Ugh. Serious. Why so serious? again.
I have had enough of you!
Perry Mason. If you or someone you know plays boring games and broadcasts them on the internet, please let me know. They may need medical help. Yes, I walked into my son's room and he was playing this game called Star Trek, and it was ruining our lives. Please help us. Don't worry, ma'am. We'll help you by taking care of business. Whoop-de-doo, boop-de-boo. Ooh, I qualified for a 20 command credit thing. Nice. I don't like these little slow capture shits, unless there's other people who are going to capture it with me. I don't think so. Okay, I'm going to go up here then. Because those are a lot more fun whenever you have more people to capture. You also get a lot more kills. Kill. Kaboom. Yes, let's shoot at it. Because, you know, we have to. Because, you know, I have this thing called a life. Ooh, it knocked out my Allen. No! And he's awake again. I had this interesting, like, I watched it on just looking through YouTube and stuff. Early this year or late last year, there was an object that was noticed or whatever, orbiting around the Earth, or around the Sun Earth area, and it matched like it paralleled Earth's rotation, you know, instead of like a little whoppy jawing kind or whatever. And it came time like for it to match up with Earth, and they had estimated that whatever it is that was rotating around, like following Earth or whatever it was had come into range of us or whatever in 1966, or was just there, you know, in 1966. It had to have done that to reach where it's at. They calculated and all that kind of stuff. So then they wondered, what could it be? Or could it be something from 1966, like some space debris or something? So they, man, there goes Alan again. He's knocking himself out pretty easy for some reason. They did some metallurgy tests and all that kind of stuff down here on Earth to some stainless steel metal, and found that it could have been from a launch they did back in 1966, like the jettison fuel module that was just kind of just still up there, you know, and it went off and whatever when it got jettisoned, and then it sort of came back, and the wind flipped it around a little bit from the sun. because the sun, like, you know, puts off like the force, and they're estimating that like it'll be back in range, like in the 40s and in like every so many days, because the orbit of it will kind of get closer to the Earth. They actually watched it through a telescope and determined, yeah, you know, it's something from Earth from 1966. So it like begs the question, like everything that we throw up there to launch up into space, it stays up there. It just becomes like space junk that kind of follows us around, you know, or always orbiting and coming back to us. I guess in the future we can go pick it back up. Have like a space cleaning agency. Keep the atmosphere clean by cleaning up your space garbage. I thought that was interesting. Something interesting to watch, at least. Yeah, this lasagna's a piece of shit. Used to, I could eat one of those, but now I just can't right now for some reason.
Flanking damage detected.
I are being flanked. If I ever let this go. Plasma damage ground. That could be Ushanka. Defeat Tholians ground. We all know who that's going to be. My main that loves to kill them. Destroy Voth ships. Doesn't say where exactly. Look at that. TFOs and story missions. Yeah, the Dyson sphere is going to be where it's going to be at. And that tonight should probably kick us up to another. Yeah. We'll have another perk after that. Sweet. Oh, sweet. And giblets. Okay. Okay. Jimhadar Kirok is done. Now we move on to 40 minutes we were allowed for Michael. And Letitia would be plus that, and plus that. So we're going to go to me for now. Because that time yesterday set me back. That's what, you know. There, clear it off. I don't like that stuff on the screen if I'm not doing it at the moment. Let's see, is Peril going on right now? Or can I? Ooh, yeah, it's ready. I can do it. Nice. And it's the one that if I do it twice, then I'll be able to get some dilithium as well. So we'll do Peril over Pahvo. It's 15 and 15. I don't know if there's a cooldown. If you know, for 15 and 15 and 30 minutes, that'll be good enough. Ah, yawning. I only yawn when I'm sleepy. I need something to stimulate my brain. I need a program or something. Perry Mason says, look at this document.
Bad news.
What the heck? Why am I glowing? Going the extra mile? Huh. Okay. Hey everybody, how y'all doing out here tonight, man? What kind of ships we got here tonight? I got Kyle. He's in none of one of these here ships.
Approaching. On an attack vector.
Enemy ships approaching. Fire. They had warp factor too. I was watching a Star Trek YouTube video about the inconsistencies of warp travel. About how Gene Roddenberry specifically made it so, like in TOS or whatever, like when he was making Star Trek, that warp 10 would be that you were everywhere at once kind of situation, like when you're in your ship. But it was never the case, you know, every time. Like even when in the original series, if they would go like past like a certain like warp, maybe 10 or something, they would still not be in that, you know, like everywhere at once. Even in TNG, whenever they had the future episode All Good Things, they could go warp 13. But they thought about maybe the warp factors had changed over the years, where warp 1 was only so like light speed, and then, you know, when it went up to warp 2 faster than light, so I guess it's twice as fast as warp 1, and then 3 times, you know, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever, and that it would kind of be impossible once you reach speed of light.
On sensors. Get ready.
But then you think, well, this is Star Trek, right? They make it up as they go. I'm thinking like warp 1 isn't exactly light speed warp, you know, getting close to it maybe. And then like warp something would probably be it. Like an infinite velocity warp. Like in what episode was that of TNG where I think Q was involved? No. That traveler guy, right? He found something in Wesley that was very unique or something. He accidentally transported the ship, like warped him super fast. It was some like theorist type guy, and the alien that was with him was that traveler dude. And what he did was accidentally make the ship travels too far and too fast, and they found that it would take like forever to get back home, and the traveler had to do it again, but he was so weak from the first time that they had to use Wesley to like power the whatever happened with that anyway. Like, you know, one episode Wesley was he like went with the traveler or became a traveler type person and like disappeared from reality and went about his way about doing something, and then, you know, then you have another Star Trek movie and hey, there he is at like a wedding. Like, what the hell, Wesley, what you been doing, man, you know? Someone should ask Will Wheaton what was he up to during that time. Because, you know, he wouldn't know, but ooh, they shot me with that thing. It made me go boom boom. I need one of those, like, just to shoot at myself sometime. JJ. Well, JJ ain't doing shit, is he? Where's he at? Where's JJ? Let's go find JJ. Where are you, JJ? Set focus on JJ. Where are you? JJ, where are you at? I don't see you taking enemy fire. I don't see you like using any of your shit. Let's go find JJ and see what he's up to. Is he just sitting around waiting up for all of us to do stuff? What's going on here? What the hell's going on here? Now, okay, he's using stuff. Am I going too far? Where's JJ? JJ, where are you? Come back here. Come here, you little bastard. Where are you? JJ, are you actually taking hits? Doing some stuff over here, are you? Just don't see you doing much. Don't, just like using up all these like things. Repair satellite. It's time to get a crew out there and repair that satellite. But sir, we're on the damaged power here. We can't do it while there's a battle going on out in space. No excuses, mister. Fire. It's like recycled Star Trek stuff. Like, what was one of those? One of the movies of Star Trek where one of the bird of prey, the Klingon bird of prey, gets destroyed, rotate destroyed, and the footage they use, they like reused it for another movie. I keep yawning. I'm trying not to yawn into the microphone. Microphone. Let's take clear focus. Get off of him. All right. I like my ship. There's nothing wrong with it, right? Dun, 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 bananas and pajamas are coming down the stairs. Let's click on every damn one of them like we don't know what the hell we're doing. That's how some of them play, just pressing all of them at once. No strategy involved. Just shoot the enemy as fast as possible. Upgrade satellite. Right. Wow. Right. William Shatner is the Lieutenant Commander Kirok. Kirok. I am Kirok. I really can't wait until Strange New Worlds comes out. Just because they've made like a promise or something to the fans. They said like, you asked for it, we're gonna do it or whatever. And, like getting back to the roots, and every episode's not going to be it's not going to be serialized, but there's going to be like an overall story arc.
Heads up, the enemy flagships are coming to attack.
You know, like, if you don't know what serialized is, it's like each episode is independent of every other episode, unless there's like a two-part to that episode or something, where you can play them out of order and it wouldn't really matter. There's really no sequence. But an overall story arc would follow. Like, you know, you'd have some sort of situation in the story, and then, you know, it would... Yeah, I can't quit yawning. So you have like a certain situation to each episode, something that you're going to be doing, all the time, like beaming down, helping some sort of civilization, and then like say go back to your ship at the very end of the show. Maybe it'll have like a let's solve this puzzle or continue to solve this puzzle type scenario. Or throughout the episode, maybe like have a little peek into a certain part of it, like a B story. But you have to think, okay, like it's Pike time in Strange New Worlds. So that, hold on, drink of water. So that would mean, you know, before Kirk, so they wouldn't have as much explored star-wise. If it were like the original series, the fans have speculated or come out with the fact that the J.J. Abrams one is different, or say Discovery is different. Is because of the changes that were made, say First Contact, whenever Picard and all of them went back in time, and the Borg, the Borg were back there like fiddling around, you know, making a mess of the past, them having to fix it, and then say Zephyr Cochrane sees an actual like warp 9 type ship or whatever, or what the future of the ships could possibly be. So he gets a glimpse of that, and it kind of redirects him, you know, like it wasn't supposed to happen, but it changed stuff. And in changing anything, that one little type step, you know, he could have like taken his warp 1 engine, modified it a little bit to go a little faster before it should have, and that like set up a whole different chain of reaction of events. Like, God, I wish I could quit yawning. Damn, what was I saying? Like, okay, say if we didn't have TOS first, if we didn't have TNG, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, all that, but if we started out with a show kind of like Enterprise, but it was the basic Enterprise, like, you know, barely any Polaron or I mean not Polaron, but hull plating and no phase cannons and you know, more yeah, of course the Vulcans would probably interfere, but
Shield generator beta is at 50%.
God, I can't stop yawning. It means I need to really sleep or something, but I don't need to sleep. I need to be awake. I need to be enjoying life instead of just falling asleep and going to work. It's like, that's what I do every day. After I do this, I go to sleep, and then I wake up, go to work, stay over there, do that all day, go home, do this. I don't have time for something different, and it's driving me insane. Anyway, getting back on topic of yawning for no damn reason. I need oxygen. Not breathing.
Shield generator gamma is at shield generator alpha is at 50%.
Oh no. But let's like just throw all the Trek out the window. Start off with Enterprise, but not the way Enterprise came to be. You know, like them still having like maybe a warp 1 engine.
You did it! They're leaving!
And slowly progressing through that, and the differences, and then that one episode of
Well
them
done.
finding a Borg, you know, or the Borg frozen, and that whole situation happening with that would not have happened. That the Borg going back is what actually set Discovery in motion to happen the way it did, and had like altered the future of stuff or whatever. Dude, I could totally probably explain it a whole lot better if I wasn't like trying to fall fucking asleep. Okay. Claim reward, yay. 3 featured TFO reward. Received 25,000 dilithium console universal crystal prism. And that means what to me? Enhanced universal tech upgrade or 1 specialization point. Well, I don't need that, that's for damn sure. Enhanced upgrade, son. Yay. Headset. Then we could do a Peril over Pahvo again to get a daily bonus of 8,000 dilithium. There. What's that? See, I already got some specialization ones. I don't need it anymore. Programmable matter. Fuck. Yawning. It's because I don't breathe. You know. Whenever I'm talking into this, I don't want to like, you know. So I'll take the mic away from my face if I need to like take a big deep breath. Get some oxygen in there. Disruptor. Where's the console? Web spinner. I got a web spinner array. Really? Where'd I get that at? I don't know. Temporal anomaly. Leech. Ice. Maw. Ionized sensor. Interfacing something. Where is it? Where's this damn thing at I supposedly got? I don't know what that is. I'm gonna discard that. I don't know. Where's it? I got a universal kit for that. There it is. Okay. Improves controlled effects. What's a controlled effect? Create link crystal prisms. Consume 1 energy crystal prism. Blah 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 blah. I don't care for that shit. I'm gonna put that away then in my bank. It's taking up room. I don't care for that crystal junk. That's just bullshit. That ain't what Star Trek would have. Bank. I wonder if I can reclaim it if I needed to. Reclaim. Equipment. Yeah, I can reclaim it, so I can just get rid of it. Boy, it's not taking up room. Discard. It's just a wasted TFO. Because even those people that use, like, when we fight on Dyson or something, you know, they're down there throwing these crystals around or something. Where was that in Star Trek? Why is it just in the game? It's not a Star Trek thing. Stop making shit up, you know? Keep it simple, keep it basic. That's what I look forward to in this game. I don't look forward to all this bullshit that they keep adding. That's why do you think I like my ship only has like basic phasers and basic stuff? I got a basic ship that's actually a cannon ship, you know, like not shoots cannons, but is in the show is something you would see. I have all that because of reasons, but you know, a deflector, protomatter deflector. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Is that a thing back in the day? Consoles and stuff. You know, none of that would have really existed. It's all overpowered and bullshit.
Enemy ships approaching. On an attack vector.
I mean, even the turn speed is like too fast. Like in space, they'd be jerking around even if with the inertial dampener type stuff. I need to pick a day to just relax. Let my mind drift. Wax paper.
More bad news. They're targeting the shield generators. If we lose...
Thumbs down. You see that? Gave him a thumbs down. What kind of ship is you got? Starting to talk like the internet now. Grammar gone out the window. Common Core math making people stupid.
Picking up multiple enemy signals on sensors. Get ready.
Had a coworker that was trying to teach her son, like, you know, their son is like doing Common Core, learning it or something like that, and she said she herself had to learn it too in order to teach him more about it, since all of this is going on and more homeschooling, and you know, and she said that she's never seen something so stupid to where you have to like use up a whole sheet of paper for one small problem to teach you how to do something like, you know, say 2 minus 2. You take 2 from 2, what do you get? Well, let's go over here to the graph, you know. I'm going to give you a whole book on why 2 minus 2 equals a certain number. And who cares if you don't know how it happened? Maybe you just see it in your head, you know. What if you just have the information in your head and you don't know how you get it, but you get the right answer? You just know. It's like that scene in Rain Man where let's see, Dustin Hoffman's character Raymond can look at his like spilled toothpicks on the ground. I was about to say something about my rear shield, wasn't it? Wasn't nothing wrong with rear shield. But he like looks at these toothpicks that have fallen and dropped on the ground, and just knows how many there are by just glancing at it. You don't see like his character like saying, "Hold on a minute, let me go get a sheet of paper, and I'll show you how I came up with that answer." Let's see, we're gonna have to do this first. This, who cares? Maybe someone just knows. Like Einstein, he just knew shit, you know? And you had to prove it, of course, but it's insane. I call it the dumbing down of America, or the dumbing down of the world, since I do live in America. I guess that means the whole world hates me, just 'cause, you know, that whole thing, like, oh, you're from over there, so we automatically just hate your ass. Even though we've never met you before, or don't know who or how you are, we just hate you because reasons. Well, if that's the case, you know, everybody hates everybody, just get rid of them. Let's get rid of everybody. Wait, no more hate. So I was thinking, like, if the virus that shall not be named, is natural or not natural. Well, if it's not like human made, then Mother Nature's telling us something, you know. Hey, wake up, y'all. Wake up, all of you. What you doing to me now? I got other people here besides just you humans. We got all these other animals that require, they need to live too. And y'all just destroying my ass, just making it worse for everything. That's what I thought of, like, whenever all this first started. Like, if it was like a natural type thing, there was like a reason for it. And some days, whenever I, you know, I have my days where I'm not bipolar or anything. I haven't never been diagnosed. I haven't asked if I was depressed though. The doctor once asked us, like, do you think you're depressed? And I'm thinking to myself, well, the commercial says only a doctor could diagnose you with depression. And I said, I'm not a doctor, but you are. But backward ass medicine these days, they just like assume sometimes, I guess, oh hey. Now you do have some healthcare professionals that actually do care, but some of them just want to like push pills down your mouth, shut you up. It's like me, I don't know, how old was I? Spike TV was still on TV. They were playing Green Acres, and they had like Star Trek DS9 and that something or whatever his name is, just Castle something, where they commentate and all these people like get ran over by boulders. I don't know.
Satellite upgrades are now.
Yep, satellite upgrades. But I was not right, you know, mentally and physically. And of course nobody cares, you know, if you are or aren't. They just assume, oh, ain't nothing wrong with you, that's normal. No, it's not. I have like really bad allergies and stuff. Given Allegra D, it made my sinuses dry up, but it also started something else. Like a chain reaction inside that I could not stop. It unleashed, that was my lasagna trying to jump at me from where I have it set. It unleashed anxiety. And I'm not talking about like, you know, feeling anxious or anything like that. I'm talking about full blown. It makes your chest pound. It makes your hands draw up into fists, and your arms curl up into your chest to where you tingle all over, and you can't breathe, and you think you're dying. That kind of anxiety, not the kind where people like saying, "Oh, I have anxiety. Oh me, I got this, I got that." You know, some of the people that like cry about having like PTSD after not doing anything that created PTSD, and then they use that as an excuse to say, "Oh, I have PTSD. I can't do this or that." I'm talking about, this was like stuff that I was numb. My body felt numb. If I got out of bed, I did nothing but just like collapse to the ground. I could not feel like my legs. I couldn't feel my arms. I was just like bleh. So and then, you know, the spell would go away like just like magically. What the hell is killing my ass? I can't turn around. I really hate whatever that is. It's causing that to happen to me. Right there. Anyway, getting back to story time. Like, no matter what I did, you know, I'd have these like little attacks. I'd be sitting in front of like my mom's computer when I was younger, and like chatting on Yahoo Messenger or the chat at yahoo.com back then. And just my hands would start getting sweaty. My chest would start pounding. And, you know, start heavy breathing. And next thing you know, you're tingling all over. I go lay down on like a something there, you know, just to lay down. And it just gets worse. So then I'm like, hey, you know, hey, can y'all take me to the doctor or whatever? And I said, oh, just you'll be all right. Just let that pass. You're just whatever. You know, I'm thinking, okay. So a random customer takes me, like at the time, or a random person, just because my mom owned a store, takes me to see like a walk-in clinic, and the first thing they asked me was, "What are you on?" Like, or what are you on, depending on who you are and where you are, said differently. And I was like, "What?" He said, "Tell me what drug you're on right now, you know, so we'll know what to do to treat you." And I'm like, "I'm not on anything. I don't know what's happening to me. This is what started up." And I said, "It feels like my chest is about to explode." You know, I said there's just pains and stuff like that, and all this stuff going on. And he's like, "Oh, well, nurse, bring the crash cart." I'm thinking, "Oh crap, here comes the crash cart." I like got sweat all over me, all sorts of things, you know. And they tell me to go over to the emergency room. Well, being such a small town like hospital, where you could walk maybe put it in meters. Let's see, maybe 50 meters or whatever to the actual hospital. And I go over there. There's this red button that says, you know, for emergencies or something like that. There's this guy sitting on a bench inside where the emergency room is. And he's reading like a newspaper, whatever. He's like a fireman or something. I don't know what he's doing. And I press the button. No one shows up. I press it again. Nobody. I stood there 20 minutes. By then, the attack was over. I go back to the doctor, and he said, "Well, what did they say?" And I said, "I have no idea. They never showed up." He thought maybe I was lying. You know. I said, "No." I said, "I'm not lying to you. I mean, I went over there, and you can ask this guy like that's sitting over there, and like the guy proved, like he said, yeah, he was just there and he pressed the button, nobody showed up." I'm like, huh, you know. So then the doctor takes me in there and they run a few tests, find out there's nothing really wrong, and he said, "You had an anxiety attack." And I said, "That was an anxiety attack?" He said, "Yes." I was like, "What?" I mean, I've never felt that. It just came on from nowhere. And he's like, "Yeah, that's an anxiety attack." So I was like, "Okay, well."
Did it. They're leaving. Well done.
Yeah, get over. Blah, 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 blah. So I was like,
Seal says, crazy.
yeah. And then, oh, hey, Zill, how are you? So then, like, a few days after that, I'm driving home. I start getting nauseated, that feeling again of anxiety. And my arms are starting to drop and stuff again, too. And I almost pass out while driving. And I'm like, what's bringing this on? It doesn't make any sense. Then I look up, like, Allegra D, and I see that it says can like cause anxiety and stuff, and once it does this, it's like it unlocks that in you. So then the doctor puts me on like medicine for like what is it, Crantex LA. I've got it listed because he told me to make a journal of every time I took it and start writing down how I feel or whatever kind of. So I've been doing that since I was early 20s, maybe like 22, 23 years old. That was like 20 plus years ago. So I've got like what I call a pain journal that I cannot stop writing in every single night, else I cannot sleep. But during the time, he gave me all of this medicine to take. And this is like, also it was like, what, 800 milligrams ibuprofen every 4 to 6 hours for a month. Needless to say, that's probably why my gallbladder got taken out, like, years after that. But it had me, like, I was on, like, what, Xanax, something sort of with a P, for anxiety or stress or something like that. But I got it written down somewhere. And it's like no matter what, and all I did was like sit there and watch like Green Acres, watch Star Trek DS9, and stayed in the bed for a whole month. I lost like a lot of weight. I was like, I wasn't too heavy back then, but I went down to like nothing. Everybody thought I was on something or whatever, but it's just because I was just laying in bed the whole time and just kind of wasting away. And a few years after that, gallbladder came out, you know. And to this day, still get anxiety, take medicine for it, sertraline, whatever. But yeah, it's like certain medical things can just draw it out of you. And so I can't, you know, ever since then I've been like diagnosed one of those with anxiety. So anytime I have like chest pains or something like that, I mean, I have like a home monitor thing that I got. It's a handheld thing that you can actually plug up to your chest and stuff. And I'm like learning how to read the EKGs, ECG, whatever, just enough to see if anything's wrong and to compare it with what I look up and blood pressure stuff and all that, you know. And it's scary, but yeah. So any time that I'm at work and I'm in like in a stressful environment anyway, stuff like that will happen, and I'm like, I got to deal with it somehow, and it's hard, but I've been dealing with it for 20 plus years, and it's interesting when people don't have actual anxiety attacks or panic attacks. They look at you like you're crazy, and they don't understand. Not until something like that happens to you would you not understand it, and it's crazy. Anyway, it's a little bit of a backstory of my early life. I mean, to this day, I take like some sertraline, which I've been backed off of, which is a generic form of Zoloft. Cholesterol medications now, blood pressure medicines, because the anxiety kept me like always anxious to where my blood pressure would stay up. So now it's an official always high thing. Plus, I don't eat right because the job that I have.
Night Off Zeal says, kinda the same things with a true migraine headache. People who have never had one have no idea how bad they are.
Right, yeah, exactly. When I was at a different store that I work at, my manager had horrible migraines. And when I was growing up, I had a friend that had migraines and stuff, and I could see what they actually did to him. But my manager, whenever she would have them, it would take her days to get over them, and like the things that she would go through. Even like to the point she had a massive one that affected her vision. She had to have like a prism layer installed in her glasses because her eyes, like one of them, like was not straight after one of them, like a major attack. And you don't know until it's happened to you. And you know, like I have family that have certain illnesses and stuff, and my mom herself has like rheumatoid arthritis, and you know,
Night Off Zeal says, yeah, mine used to be that bad, but I changed my eating and stuff years ago.
Yeah, my previous manager there, so they did like an allergy test to her and found out that like she was allergic to so many things and certain foods and whatnot, and any kind of medicine they put her on, you know, it's like it didn't matter. So she changed her eating habit. It got a little bit better. Yeah, stress will kill you. Literal stress. That's why, like, whenever I'm at the job or whatever like that, I try to not let it get to me by just kind of like, easing through it and not getting too excited because, yeah, I've felt it. I felt it one evening so much that I thought I was about to die from it. But what do you do? We don't live in a Star Trek world yet. I mean, we don't like, like currency and buying things, making money, whatever, paying bills and stuff. If we didn't have a way to, make a living and have to do that and didn't have to have jobs and stuff, what would inspire the human race to continue? And I think just like they'd inspire themselves in a way to, because I'm inspired.
Seal says, wait, Dr. McCoy can't just give me pills to fix everything? Dang it.
Right? Yeah. Like drilling holes in your head is not the answer. The artery has to be repaired. The magic pill. There are some interesting like remedies for stuff out there, like certain exercises or the fad that was going on around here for a while. It's probably going around everywhere, but for those who were suffering from migraines, they would pierce the inside of your ear or something, and it was supposed to like place pressure on a part of your earlobe that directly went into your head that connected to that part of the brain where migraines could trigger, so it was less likely for you to get a migraine. And my manager's daughter, who also had migraines but not as severe as my manager's, she got that, and she didn't get migraines for a long time. Like, they weren't as severe. And but my manager's, no matter what, she's always going to get a migraine headache. And you could tell that the toll that it takes on a lot of people. You could see the physical pain that someone has gone through that has had a migraine. And I mean, even myself, like when I was in grade school, I can't remember what grade. I think it was number 4, maybe. I was just sitting there in class, and out of nowhere, like the right side of my vision was like this cloud of like sparkles and stuff, and it's like it slowly moved into the front of my vision in both eyes, and I could not see. I could see, like, if I was looking at something, it was like everything was kind of like blurred together, like smudge blurred, if you ever see that. And but around it, I could kind of tell what stuff was. And then after maybe 10 minutes or so,
says, tunnel vision.
Well, I kind of figured out what it was later, but after a while, it would like move to the other side, and then go away. Then I would have this massive headache.
Seal says, I used to get it back when I was a driver.
Yeah, and I found out that it was like a certain. It wasn't diagnosed, but it closely resembles like a type of migraine, like a visual one, because I would like be nauseated after that, and just like massive headaches and stuff, and maybe even like a little fever because of it for several days, and it would go away. And it's almost like if you looked at accidentally looked up at the sun and had that blur in your vision, but it can like intensified and went everywhere, and that freaked me out. And I only had that like maybe 10 to 12 times in my life, and I don't know what triggers it, but it's an optical optical migraine is what it looks like whenever you research it online, like what I would see. I don't know if it was like a tunnel vision thing, but I have had some freaky moments like that too, where like I could be talking to somebody, and it feel like I'd jump back inside my own mind or whatever, and was the observer watching myself talk, like, still seeing everything, hearing everything, and still being able to converse with others, but like something else was in control. like I was just a passenger in my own head. And then, like, out of nowhere, it's like you just kind of bounce back in. It's so weird. And then I read, like, that's, like, could be a stroke. And I'm like, hey, all right, sweet. No, because the internet will make you all paranoid about stuff. That's why, like, every time I go to a different healthcare provider, because I've had to over the years, because some of them, you know, they retire from it, or they just stop whatever. One of them even died one time. But I can start off easy and like saying, okay, they're like, okay, what are you here for? And I said, just medication refill. Like, are you feeling this, this, or this? I was like, no, I just need my medication refill. I'm sorry. Well, let's go take some tests. Okay, you know, I don't like go into whole detail like I read on the internet, blah blah blah. You know, because then they'll look at you like, it's one of those. But yeah. And any time like I have like my left arm will hurt, I'm thinking, okay, here comes a heart attack, you know, every time, and then it'll pass. And I've actually found that eating raw garlic helps a lot with a lot of stuff like that, like lowering blood pressure. And I even read about how to cleanse the arteries and stuff by eating, like mixing garlic cloves and lemon and ginger and other things together or whatever, and simmering them and to get, you know, like to a boil, and then just let them set, and then drinking in like filling up 3-liter bottles or something with it, drinking on it for 3 weeks.
Seal says, guy I used to work with would eat raw ginger all the time.
I don't know how they do that. That stuff right there is strong. It's almost just as strong as like garlic whenever I would eat that. Because I would go for that, and it's the acidity, which is the allicin part of garlic. You know, whenever garlic's attacked, it releases it, and like a self-defense thing. And that's what actually helps like thin the blood naturally, antibiotical type properties, and what is the other word? The A. Dang it, I can't think right now for some reason. I mean, I've even got raw parts of garlic in what I've been eating tonight. But man, the smell after that, damn, no wonder people stay away from people that eat stuff like that, you know? And I had always read that mosquitoes will leave you alone, you know, because of it. And it is true. But yeah, eating ginger, I tried that. I bought like some ginger when I was making one of these little mixtures up or whatever that you can read about online, the garlic stuff. And I took a bite out of it. I had to find water quick. I don't know how people do that. That was just something else. And the rest of it's sitting there and rotted in the refrigerator for like after a few days or something, because I just refused to eat any more of it. It was tough, and it was, and I couldn't understand, like, you know, sometimes you hear about ginger cookies, and I'm like, well, it can't be that bad. It's in cookies. Oh, no. That stuff was strong. It was almost like, you know, like I said, eating raw garlic, or like just straight up squeezing a lemon in your mouth, kind of like hits you that hard. Gosh, but hey, that stuff can work. You know, if you have any kind of like certain problems, I mean, just natural remedies that people have been using forever. You know, other civilizations before we were even like technologically advanced, I guess if you call us what we are now, they had remedies for things, and that stuff worked back then. And they didn't have like all these machines and stuff, but I guess too, back then, since, you know, there was no cure for a lot of things, people that had certain diseases weren't alive to keep them going, if that makes any sense. Like, say for instance, alright, in my family, there's multiple sclerosis, cancer, of course, duh, everybody's probably got some of that in their family. What is it? Let's see, Alzheimer's, I already said that, dementia, just certain things. And now recently, since my mom has it, rheumatoid arthritis, which was never in anybody's, in our family at all until like 2012 or whatever, when she was diagnosed. But which is odd because of 2012 conspiracy. I'll talk about that one day, I guess. But it's like just things, you know. I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, no, I don't know. But it's just stuff that back in the day, if they got some of that, or like leprosy, they just killed everybody so they wouldn't spread it, you know. And I guess the same is like any kind of disease, like you would get. Well, if you're kept alive with medicine now, you can spread that genetic information to your offspring, and then, you know, it continues to kind of, you know, can keep going, versus like a purity type thing where the strong who never get sick or whatever continue to prevail, and the rest of us just die off, you know. But we keep keeping ourselves alive too long, and now look at us, you know. World's overpopulated. All sorts of things happening. 4 or 5, come on now. Damn, that's about to reset one of them because I didn't pay attention to this. That's why I've kind of like chosen not to have children, not to have relationships in life and all that. I've never been with anyone ever because I don't want to, like, any kind of like problem that I have, I don't want to spread to someone else, you know. And I don't know if that's selfish, but it's just the way I think. Like, who would want to have like depression, anxiety, and other ailments and things, and be looking forward to that? I said, okay, well, when you're about this age, look forward to this happening to you, you know? That's a champ, you know? No. I can't. I'm not responsible like that. They got a movie named after me. No. What are we doing here? So I mostly just observe, just watch people. Anybody will ask me for like relationship advice, I'm like, I have no idea. So once you've been let down so many times, you're like, well, I guess that's not for me. See you later, everybody. Captain Dusty. Sorry, that hit a personal time there. I'll try not to talk personally about a lot of things. What is the thing? Okay, yeah. Like, let's see. Go away with that. Ooh, we're about to hit like a V-Rex. That's interesting. Eh. Okay, come on, give me something I can click on begin and just make it go faster. That's in tactical, isn't it? That's why it's slower. Science? Yeah. One more somewhere. Like how my department head is a ship right here at science. I don't know if that glitch can happen again. I did that by when I made this character, I deleted every single one of their bridge officers where there was nobody, and it just showed a ship in like every single slot. My first officer is my own ship, or no, it's the Constitution class ship, like the computer off of it. That's how I look at it. Like my first officer and science officer. Anyway, oh, there goes the Rex.
Night Off Zeal says, never seen that glitch before.
Yeah, and I don't want to fix it either, because I know you can like click on there, and once you click on it, like the other ones that are there, if I can go back to them, let me get that ready to be clicked and destroyed. But it was on every single one of these until I got like some more bridge officers, and it populates it. Like if you click on this, the ship will go away. So I don't want to do that. I want to leave it on there and see if it stays. It's hilarious. That's it. I wish I had that on my my main character. I mean, I guess maybe everybody could do it. I need to test it on like another, like if I met another character. But I don't know if it still does it or not. That's how I look at it, though. It's like the Constitutional class ship that stays at the shipyard on at ESD. Like, just relays its information as my first officer. Like, it automatically controls the ship while I'm down here. It's a little... since I have an imagination that goes wild sometimes, that's what I think, at least. But yeah. Dang it, Dr. Loomis. Dang it, you dummy. Dang it, Carl. Carl Childers. He's got his own movie named after him called Sling Blade. Personal shield losing power. Ah, my gosh, I'm getting attacked from everything. Look, click on that. It's supposed to keep you from being held. I'm still being held. That's the whole point of that button. Ooh, use that. Probably get a shot because it shot it off before I put that down. Come on, where's like some backup and stuff? That's insane. Is there nobody else on this map? It has to be. There's people capturing. I answered my own question. Yes, you did. Oh, okay. Looky, looky, no sidekick tonight. Yay. Ah, man. He's down again. Dr. Loomis. Well, it's not really his fault. I mean, I have, like, not upgraded his armor at all. He's running around going, I shot him 6 times. Ooh, I'm about to die. I'm about to die, yo. I don't get any backup. There we go, some backup. Nope, there I go. Died. Let me call for help. I'm not on a team. No one can see me. Yay. But yeah, I read something like, which I was going to wait until the next character to talk about because that's like a good segue into a different one, which I think I will. I'll save it until I go into my other character after this. If this can ever happen here. I'm guessing there's not a lot of... Why did I click on that? Man, I wish I had some powerful weapons for Dyson. Oh, I do have like whatever that... Yeah, this big old cannon here. The Bolian... Yeah, Bolian heavy assault cannon. That he only fires every once in a while when he feels like it. Pew 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 pew. I mean, they can't even be bothered to, like, you know, make the animation line up with the shot. Look at that little arc angle. He's shooting straight ahead, but yet it goes over here. Come on, man. Cryptic, come on. Stop being lazy. Fix the shit. Fix it. One more shot. There we go. Thanks whoever had the power to do that. Okay, now we can go to the park. Can't jump. Watch by the time I get there to be captured. Let's put on our full run. Motion accelerator, which I don't see the animation for. There it goes. Why is it sometimes you can run through there, but sometimes you can't? They'll catch you. And I ran so far away. Need somebody with Tetrion damage to take the shields down. I wanna get away. I need to set up some like macro keys for my sound effects that aren't funny. I added a new one, which I like. It's Captain Kirk from, I think, Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock, where he's battling a Klingon on the side of a cliff, and the Klingon is holding on, and Kirk's like, give me your hand, you know, to help him up. And the Klingon like slips even more and grabs Kirk. Instead of the hand thing, he tries to like fight him and stuff while the Klingon's hanging off and about to like fall. So Kirk's all like, well, forget about this, you know.
All three
And
silos are under Allied control. Excellent work.
he plays this sound effect, or he says this here. It's like,
I have had
Forces is engaged transports. Troops inbound.
and just kicks him off the cliff. I love that. I used to have that sound effect back in the IRC chat days. Or whenever we'd have somebody annoying us in the chat channel, I'd play it. Ew. Command center. Yeah, capturing late because my people, since after yesterday's help or helping session, I had to go back and finish up with my other characters to get more dilithium so that I'd have it for some Zen later. That's the only reason I do these, so that I can have dilithium and Zen if I need it. I could do some extra and make them go to the dilithium mine and get an extra 500 every day, but that's a lot of traveling just for 500. But what I was going to talk about during that fight was 2012. You know, they had that movie with John Cusack where the world was ending and all that kind of stuff. But let me adjust my headphones real quick. That did not help at all. Hold on. There. They start hurting my ears after a little bit. But yeah, that movie's about like the world just being destroyed, you know, and falling apart. And there was even that thing like the Mayan calendar is gonna cause that's gonna, like, you know, stop on that date, and that's when everything just stops existing or something. But you know, here we are. I guess that proved it wrong. I don't know, but it's a very interesting little subject matter that came out of all that was the fact that shortly after it is when the Mandela effect started happening, that everyone experiences or doesn't experience, believes or doesn't believe. But it is kind of interesting about a lot of that, like the Berenstain Bears versus Berenstain Bears, and magic mirror on the wall, mirror on the wall, stuff like that. And even about like the one post on 4chan back in the day about I am one of 23 scientists who are responsible for what you call the Mandela effect. And the idea of what had happened or something with the Mayan calendar and with everything back then was the fact that, like, what if the Earth was destroyed and we're the backup copy of that? You know, if it were from a simulation's point of view, that it like, say in the simulation the Mayans found out that they were, you know, in one as well, and they found out whenever the system was crashed depending on information that they gathered, and that counted it down to system crash. But what they didn't figure out was there would be a backup copy where all the like files could transfer to a new, you know, place to experience or something. And in doing so, for like the transfer, certain things were changed, and those changes didn't correspond with everybody's program or whatever, to the point where there are different memories for each of the little programs, which are what we apparently are, according to that little myth about the simulation. That we are, it's not like Tron's user versus program thing. We're just like little Sims, like in the game. And given the choice of like doing whatever we can do and just watching the simulation play out, and then it crashed, like a server crashed, and so we were pushed into a backup copy that wasn't quite ready.
Seal says, like I remember going to the store a long time ago looking for Jiffy peanut butter, but it doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's one too. Yeah, where it's like a Skippy peanut butter or just Jif peanut butter, but everyone remembered, even I remembered Jiffy as a peanut butter, but it's like it never existed. And there's other factors too, like body changes and position of the heart and all that were upgraded for reasons or something like that. But that's part of like the Mandela stuff. Like it's not really.
Night Off Seal says it was like Jif mixed with Skippy, which is weird.
Yeah, I mean, I to this day still think that existed, because I can clearly see like the jar in my head, even before I like looked up an image of one. It was just, I don't know. It's just it's weird, but not weird at the same time. Like we were told that, like according to this scientist of one of 23 responsible for that they posted on the 4chan about like this is what it is and this is what you should be experiencing, but don't worry, people will forget all about it, or it will die down to where it's like non-existent. But even medical professionals who had like studied like super biology type stuff, and in surgeries and whatnot, had noticed changes in the body, in the human body. Like for instance, the presence of like more ribs or less ribs, and position of the I call it, it's not scapula, it's something else, it's upper body that I can't remember. But even position of the heart, like in grade school and stuff like that, we're always taught like the heart is on the left side of the body. That's what everyone remembers, but apparently now it's in the center of the body, or more in the center versus the side of the body. And even like doctors and stuff said, hey, this isn't right, what's going on here? Stuff has changed. But now if you look it up, you can't find this information. And then there's like ongoing glitches that keep happening that people remember, like I mentioned in one of the videos I was just talking about, kind of like this stuff, the tidy cat versus tidy cats. I work in retail, so I know it's tidy cats. And these people who bought a tidy cats, like litter is what it is, they took it home. And this didn't happen at where I work. It's on the internet out there in YouTube land. But they took it home, used it like one time, and then when they went back into like the area and where they had it stored, the S was missing. And then they both look at it like, what the hell, And they said they could have sworn it had an S. Maybe they were like, oh, maybe we're mistaken. Then they go back to like the next day or so, and the S is back. It's stuff like that. And I myself even had like a little bit of an experience, sort of. Whenever I was checking, I was like at the register checking someone out, and they got a little fold-up step stool. And this fold-up step stool said like 250 pounds, like that it could support. I read it. The customer read it. They even asked me about it, like saying, because they were more overweight and stuff, and I'm not skinny or healthy really. I'm a little not fat, or well, I'm classified as obese, but I'm not. I mean, but it's nowhere near 250. But I told him, I said, no, it's fine. I mean, we use those around the store and stand on them, and some of us are well over that, and they seem to hold us fine. And I was like, okay. And so she buys it. Like 2 days later, she comes back in and she goes, "You're not going to believe this, but this thing now, it said 350 and not 250 now." And I said, "Are you sure?" She's like, "Yeah." And I went over there and I picked up one that we used, and it said 350, like 350 pounds on it, versus 250 pounds that I remember seeing. And I thought, wow, this has got to be something crazy. So I had bought one for my mom to use at home. I went to look at it, went over there to look at it, and that part of it was actually tore off, so I couldn't like verify that that one itself said it too, because I thought maybe it changed. Maybe it used to be that, and the new one says this now. But even the one that I knew said 250, and all those on the shelf now said 350. To this day, they still say 350. I don't know if that's like just something that we both like fake memory or something, or we just assumed. But I remember the conversation, she did too, that we had about it being 250, because she said that she was like maybe 260 something, and if that would be okay. And I was like, it should hold, and now it says 350. And we're like, what? It's in other little things and stuff all over the place that had happened. And now a lot of people, like if you mention the Mandela effect to a bunch of people, they'll look at you like, what are you talking about? Like they had forgotten all about it, which is what this one of 23 scientists person said would happen, like as the update changes. But that's just like one theory of why the Mandela effect. The other one is everyone's having a false memory and it's just spreading, whatever. And then there's like the whole time travel theory, where they've like scientists have discovered how to go back in time, and somebody did, and they've changed one thing that's had a ripple effect, and it's like slowly been catching up with us or something, versus then having it caught up. There was one that was about like John F. Kennedy's car, how many seats were in it, how many people were in it. Everyone always remembers a certain amount, but yet there's photograph pictures of like more people or whatever that were there that weren't there, that people remember not being there. And that can kind of be freaky, but at the same time it can kind of make some sense in a way for me, because I've been a Doctor Who fan, and it's made me always think a little outside of the box about certain things, like the blending of two realities and whatnot. But that's just me, like visual glitches and stuff. But I don't know. I get excited whenever I talk about stuff like that. I got another officer. How in the hell? What am I doing to get? See, my recruitment experience went up there too, and I don't even know what I clicked. I need to do that for my other officer. I need to be doing that. Like, okay. I always seem to skip the assignments here in this one, and I jump over here.
Seal says, there is an old picture of someone like 20 to 30 years back with something that looks like a cell phone.
Yeah. I had saw that, like, what was it? Is it a Charlie Chaplin video or something around that era, whenever it's just barely any video and someone was recording, and this woman walks out of, say, like a theater, and she's got her hand next to her head, and it looks like she's actually talking.
Night Off Seal says,
yeah, talking to somebody or something. And then there's like one of a Dyson fight, and it looks like someone's holding an iPhone, and this is like way back in the early 90s where iPhone was not a thing, but it looks just like a modern day one you'd see now, or the picture of the guy that looks out of place, where it's like he's wearing something that was more modern now, but this was back in like the 40s or something. Yeah, there's all sorts of weird stuff out there. I mean, and even even Einstein, like his ideas and stuff could tell you that yes, that could be possible. Parallel universes like swapping over, people disappearing, reappearing, whatever. It's always fascinated me, like the college professor that like vanishes when he gets in his car. Everybody sees him get in his car. His car never leaves, but yeah, he's not there anymore. He's just up and gone. Or people are, what are some of the videos out there of Come on, there's got to be another capture somewhere here. Come on, give me one more. Where people are like just driving down the road, and all of a sudden, like a car will turn in front of them that it was not there. I mean, I've even experienced something like that before, where I'm in my vehicle, like, and coming off of a road and going onto a highway or something. I look both ways, and it's like you can clearly see there's nothing coming. But as soon as you like look toward, like, say the right to turn off, there's somebody right there, and you're thinking, what'd they do? Go 200 miles an hour? You know, because it's like a flat area where you can see like what seems like for miles, and there's nobody there. Maybe a mirage type thing blocks them. I don't know. There's a lot of video out there of, say, people like at an intersection turning. This one's turning all casual, and it's like this car just appears out of nowhere, like from like an inch of nothing, or vehicles that get like hit no object but yet smash into it. Yeah, it's like the geometry and collision geometry in real life is messed up. Physics. That stuff's always fascinated me. Like I can sit there for hours watching like a video or something like on YouTube and getting one of those like things where you end up at cats or something. You know, I don't know how we do that. There is nothing to capture progress there. But that's all. It's all, you know, and there's no way to actually, I guess, figure it out until, you know, I don't know, like when it gets solved, which it never will be, because it could be just like a figment of our imagination and it just happening, or the whole idea that that whatever we think just becomes real, like reality. You know, like the whole, if a tree falls in the woods and no one's around to hear it, does it make a sound? Well, if you think about the simulation theory, which one scientist said that he found string theory in, like, what was it? Some equation, like a simulation thing in string. I forget what it was, but it was an actual, you know, scientist that's credibility and all this kind of stuff. And he's like, he found computer programming in string theory. That's what it was, and which can support the simulation theory. And like kind of like the Matrix is for Neo and all that. I got distracted. I forgot. I got off the subject. But there's also that whole thought process. Okay, like I was saying about the tree, right? If the tree, you know, falls in the woods and no one's around to hear it, doesn't make a sound. Well, if it's a computer type setup, it's like a simulation or a game or whatever, there is no sound because there's no need for it to play, to use resources to be heard. So it can be like, say, if you're the only one around for miles, and what you're looking at forward, the stuff behind you does not exist. It's not being rendered because you're not looking at it. But as soon as you turn to look at it, what do I do that for? But as soon as you turn around to look at it, that's whenever it's created, or like, you know, pops into existence. Because you see it then, and it's just a resource thing. Say like, what if the universe was being ran on some sort of super quantum computer, and in order for it to save memory, it's like saying, okay, is this person looking here? Is this one visualizing here? Like it would have like a vision cone, and whatever's not being seen, it doesn't render it, or it renders like far off objects at a lower quality because you're not there to actually be next to it to see it. And which is interesting too about like the double slit experiment, where was it protons or something, some sort of light waves, they make like two slits in something and shoot light waves through it, and if you're watching it or it's being observed, it like ripples like you would expect.
Silos are under Allied control. Excellent work.
And like it would ripple, like the light waves would bounce off of each other. But if you're not watching it, if you're not watching it and it's being measured, then it's like two steady beams. Like say if you turn your back and you're not looking at it, it's two steady beams, but as soon as you turn around, it ripples. If that's the case, something's monitoring like what we see, and what we do. You know, like on a, like say a program like that's observing us, and whatever we visually look at, that's why it does stuff. And that has always like amazed me, the thought of like, and that like supports the simulation theory, the double slit experiment. I'm sure I've like not talked about it correctly or left a lot of detail out because it's been years since I've looked that up. But it always reminds me of that movie. I think it was the 13th Floor, where and I know I've talked about this like during Ryza or whatever, just in general conversation with myself, since that's what I do. Where if I can remember correctly, if that's even the title of the game, or not game, but of the movie, this guy is just an average person, and he witnesses like something odd happening. Like this person just changes in front of him to a different type of like, you know, personality shift kind of thing, and it's all of a sudden like shooting somebody, killing, whatever like that. Then all of a sudden, bam, they're back to like the way they should be. And then like throughout the episode, or not episode, but at the movie, he uncovers like little bits of information about how some people believe that he's in like a simulation, not a real world. And then someone gives him coordinates, like GPS coordinates. He follows them, and when he goes to the very end of where this road or whatever is, he looks away, and it's nothing but drawn like pixel, or not pixels, but polygons, like you would see in a 3D mesh makeup or whatever, of like a valley that wasn't rendered yet. And he goes back, and then he learns that he's living in a simulation with all of these other people who are identical to people that are outside the simulation. And what these people outside the simulation do is come into that simulation to relax and whatever, like that, you know, they can just kill whoever they want to, whatever they want to do, kind of like GTA in a way. But then at the end, it's like his consciousness swaps with the real guys, so he actually can go to the real world. I think that's the 13th Floor. I'm not sure, but I need to rewatch that movie because that was pretty cool. The movies that make you think. Also, what I like about like Doctor Who, back when Stephen Moffat had it running, he could make you think. You know, I like the way he portrayed. He made the Doctor be portrayed. That whole like thinking thing.
Back to your stations. The Voth have returned.
I know I'm rambling, but it's a damn good ramble. It's educational to myself, even though I'm probably misremembering a whole lot of bullshit. It's been a while, and I jumble all that mess up in my head. Like Johnny Mnemonic, you just kind of forget what you need to know and stuff. But it's just, it's a subject matter that's really fascinating. Almost like that one I was talking about kind of like yesterday about, what was it, a brass bale found in a lump of coal that was like 3 million years old. And that in civilization didn't last then, or last that long. So they're thinking, okay, well, you know, that's interesting. Then they found like a blade the same kind of way off, like, you know, even in the United States, which shouldn't exist, but it's in like a big old clump of coal that was 3 million or so years old, which means civilization was alive and well back then with the same type of thing we're doing now. So what if we're just version whatever of something, or something like that, you know, or just another civilization that's kicked off and like come and go type thing. You know, we live so long, get so technologically advanced, destroy ourselves, the world heals, starts all over again, you know, with the dinosaur thing being like billions of years old, and here we are out of just nowhere. I like all that kind of thinking. Like, you know, just out there. Don't restrict yourself to just, you know, if of course if you go to church, you know, you learn it this way, and you talk to anybody who like doesn't or does go to church, and like you don't go, and you want to expand your mind, you tell them this or this, and they're like, no, this is what it says in here, and I believe this. And I'm thinking, you believe that because you were there? You saw this happen? I mean, You experience this? They're like, no. Well, so how do you know if it's true or not? Because, you know, like, just because some book has certain stories in there and they've left a lot of it out, how can you take that as factual proof if you yourself were not there to witness whatever this was? That's kind of how my thinking has been for a lot of stuff, which I guess is why I never really went to church. But, you know, I'm going to hell anyway, I guess. Doesn't matter if hell exists. I'll be in a hell loop. That would be retail. I'm there already. Or as one of my coworkers once said, he said, "Do you ever think maybe we're like in an insane asylum or some sort of place like that, and you know, and we got straight jackets on and they're tied around us, and we're sitting there going like just counting back fake money to people, and our arms are bound, and we're saying hello to people who aren't really there, and we just think we're in here?" And I said, "I think you're probably onto something. We better get back to work then." You know, like the whole not really here thing. But I think about a lot of stuff like that. Like if you know, I'll even be like working sometimes, and people who are around the area that, you know, that come in as our customers think that I'm crazy, that I talk to myself. But I tell them, I said, I'm not talking to myself, I'm talking to the audience. And they're like, what audience? I said, the people that are watching us right now, but from whenever they see us. And they said, what are you, you're crazy, you know, and they'll run off or whatever. And I'm thinking, no, I said, think about it this way. Say, like, right now to us, there's like no, you know, there's no time travel. There's no like viewing history or anything like that. But what if in the future someone creates this and can actually watch us from the like see us in the past and view like what we're doing? You know, a lot of them might not understand what we're doing or stuff. So I'm like commentating. I'm telling them, hey, this is what I'm doing and stuff like that. Or I'll just like just up and just wave, you know, in a random direction. And, like, who you waving at? I said, people watching from the future. And they're like, whatever, you know. And I'm like, you know, you got to think about it like that. Until, like, you know, I thought maybe, you know, I was just crazy too. I mean, for thinking that. But then I came across the idea or the it's supposed to be factual evidence of the chronoviewer that the Vatican apparently has. It's like a conspiracy about them having it, where it's a device that you can use to actually view the past. And I only learned about this like maybe a month ago, right? And this is something that I've always thought of, like way back when I was like maybe a teenager too, like, you know, people viewing the like past from the future. And in the whole like idea of the chronoviewer, they say that the Vatican has actually witnessed the crucifixion of Christ and stuff, like watched it as it happened through using this viewer, watched other historical things happen, and this is how they actually know what really happened. And you're thinking, okay, this has got to be crazy, right? But all like everything we do is like little ripples in time and space. So like it can just stay as a recording on a vibrational scale, and if you have something to view this recording, you know, it can happen. You just got to put your mind to it, and bam, you know, something. You can always do something like that. But I don't know. I don't know if it's real or not. I just know that I'm always aware of the audience. And I think, you know, if that makes me crazy, then so be it. I mean, what do they always say? Like, if you think you're crazy, you're not. It's only when you don't think you're crazy. Like, if you're not aware of it. Like, obviously, I'm not talking to a brick wall, but I'll like just pop off some sort of subject matter when I'm at work to no one who's there, and they'll say, "Who you talking to?" You know, I'm like, the audience. That's when they do the whatever thing. But I'm actually talking to anyone who's listening, to see if I can trigger like a some sort of response, like for them to be intrigued by that. Like if they have the same thinking as I do. I remember when I was at work one day, and there was this movie about like dinosaurs or something like that, and I said, hey, you know, look up a dinosaur movie, and this one customer says, oh, dinosaurs didn't exist, they're not real. And I said, what about fossils and stuff? I said, oh, that's just fabrications from the devil to make us think. I'm like, how the hell do you really know? Were you there? I mean, I said, yes, this is here. We have like carbon dating. Oh, that's fake. You know, I'm thinking, okay, yeah. I said, well, how old is the Earth then, and how old is everything? Well, there's only one person who knows, and of course they're like going to reference God for that, the God or a God or whoever, you know, whatever you believe in. And which I'm not against people who believe in God or people who don't believe in God. I'm not going to say I'm not an atheist. I'm not really religious. I'm spiritual. You know, I do like believe that, you know, you should be kind to people and stuff, and you know, and help out whatever you can and support what people believe. And I'm always open-minded about that. Like I want to hear everyone's side of the story, but it seems that certain people who take things too seriously never want to hear it. They only want to like tell you what you need to know about this, and you shouldn't think this way. And then I get to thinking, so if God is almighty, doing all whatever like this, then shouldn't he know like exactly what this is, and not really give you free will and already have everything planned out? And then you get the whole discussion about like, you know, oh, the world's only like 6,000 years old, but yet you have stuff that can disprove this. It's almost like, you know, flat Earth versus globe, you know, Earth, and you know, it. What would it take to like prove to a flat earther that the world is round? And my opinion is just show them a bubble. Bubble forms naturally as a sphere. And I don't know. Maybe we are like a chunk of Earth that blew apart. I don't know. Who am I to say they're wrong, and who am I to say I'm right? All I do know is the factual evidence that has been presented. Measurements and whatnot like that. But people believe the way they do for a reason. Maybe they're programmed that way. I like to think outside of it and like bring in all the information and, you know, make my own decision about it. And I guess that's wrong, because I don't think like everyone. It's like when I was in school, I was in a science class, and the next subject matter or whatever was dinosaurs. The teacher said, we're going to skip this section. And I was like, why? She goes, because I don't believe dinosaurs existed, because they're not. It doesn't correspond with what the belief of the Bible is. And I was like, so we're going to be like not educated about dinosaur stuff, like they can actually put us into like maybe a field of archaeology or something like that. You know, get us interested, because this teacher didn't believe dinosaurs existed. So one year when I was working, you know, after I had already graduated and all this kind of stuff, I was working at the previous store that I was once at, and in this town that I was in, there was a science teacher who was a Christian, went to church, and you know, believed in God and all this stuff, but he also said he believes in teaching what, you know, everything that people need to know. Like he said, I told him about the dinosaur thing with the teacher. He said she shouldn't have done that, or the teacher shouldn't have done that. They should have taught you that anyway, to let you base your own ideas and beliefs about stuff. He said, yes, it's true that, you know, in this and this or whatever like that, you know, dinosaur stuff, whatever, but he said that doesn't rule out that they weren't there. You know, maybe the timeline's just off. I'm thinking, this guy knows. I really enjoyed talking to that guy a lot. He would come in and we'd talk about sciencey type stuff, and I was like, man, I wish I had you as my teacher whenever I was in school, you know. But we didn't have a teacher in that one year. We just had a substitute, watch movies all the time. And got graded for it. Like once a week or so like that, they'd say, all right, well, we need to get a grade in here for y'all, so take this open book test and If y'all need the answers, they're over. You know, you're like, really? Yeah, what are we watching tomorrow? We'll bring the TV in here. We'll watch this. You know, we'll watch only this part of it because the class doesn't last as long as the movie does. And it was just something else. They would hire teachers that didn't have actual degrees in anything. Just say they did. Okay, you're hired. You know. What do you teach? I have no idea. What's your textbook say? Have a school that teaches driver's ed and doesn't have a car. That was always fun. And then look at me like, hey, you need your permit to learn how to drive. I'm like, drive what? You know. Of course, I did. Like in that class, the driver's ed class, we just took mostly like visual, written type tests in there, and would talk about driving. But there was this one question about like if your car's going around a curve and hold on a second. If your car is going around a curve and you start to lose traction, which way should you if you're starting to spin, which way should you turn your wheels? And I told them, like into the curve or into the spin to where, you're the opposite way of what and they were like, you're right. How do you know that? And I said, I play a lot of NASCAR 98, and you got to do that whenever you're spinning around. So I learned more about driving and stuff from a video game. This was before like super 3D video games, 1998, 99, whatever, 97, around that area. And they looked at me like, And I wasn't wrong about a lot of the questions. They'd ask me other questions about stuff, and I said, "Are you sure you haven't been practicing driving?" I'm like, "No, I haven't been practicing driving because I don't have like a permit to learn how to drive, and I had no passion to drive, no reason to. I wasn't one of those that like decided I needed to go drag Maine or whatever and go party. I was not a partier. I didn't care about that stuff. Watching people get drunk, falling, passing out, who cares? Do something else with your life, That's how I felt. But it may feel different. It's up to everyone's based. They have their own opinion about stuff, and I respect people for that. It's just whenever they don't respect my opinion, if I like just joke about one little thing and they take it too seriously, I'm like, somebody needs to put a smile on your face, But yeah, it's like I was saying earlier, the dumbing down of the society. What you don't teach, like they're deleting history in the United States all the time about stuff, and people are upset about it until it makes me think like the future's going to be that like that movie with Tom Hanks and Halle Berry. I forget what it was called, but it goes through like several generations of humanity or something like that. Same actors playing different parts, and there's that one scene where it's like the future. And everyone's talking this kind of gibberish that they all understand, yet they're like they don't know a lot of stuff. Kind of like in the Time Machine movie, was it Jules Verne Time Machine, or I think, or was it not Jules Verne? I can't remember. All these memories are just going together, making me look like I'm dumb. But like in the Time Machine. The book and stuff, even the movies you can watch and whatnot over the years. Dude goes to the future and he finds out he's thinking, why? Okay, is this really the future? Because it looks like the past. Well, it's kind of like society has just crumbled. Everyone's ignorant, can't read or write. So he goes back and gets literature and stuff to help teach the future normal stuff again. And that's kind of like what I expect to happen now, since the world is like changing and everything's dumbing down. Or could we be like living underground one day because we've destroyed everything. Like the idea of Kree the alien, which I had mentioned in another broadcast one time. And if to refresh memories about that, it was like a guy named it was the son of a man, and this man was like a marine biologist who loved people, was around everybody, had a great life kind of thing, until one day that changed him forever. And I've read this online on a site. It's a story, so I don't know if it's true or not, but it's real fascinating to me. And it's this guy named it's like a backstory of the dude's father or something like that. The father being like, you know, nice, doing stuff for people, whatever like that. He one like the next week after a certain thing happened, he came home and his son was reading like a sci-fi like a comic book or something, and in the front of the comic book had like a picture of like a flying saucer and stuff, and his dad grabbed it away from him and says like, why is he reading that garbage or something, because aliens aren't real, they don't exist. And he just like walks off, and then he starts turning into this like alcoholic, and he starts hating people or being mean all the time, and really disgruntled, and you know, didn't want to be around people or whatever, and just you know, things would just, like, he completely just 180'd on everybody. And then this guy, the son, didn't figure out what it was all about until his father had passed away. And then it was several years later, and he was going through his father's things like in a storage building, and had to move them, and he came across this audio reel tape, which is like in a tin can, like you see in like old like type movie theaters or something, like, you know, where it's a little like tape film reel of like you know, magnetic tape that's wrapped around, and he played back the audio from it, and it was like his father was confessing to something, and it was bothering him, and he couldn't tell anybody, so he recorded it onto an audio reel, so that he, you know, just so that he can just get it off his chest. And it was about the time his father was taken to Area 51 or S4 back in the day, because the government wanted him to observe a patient there, and because it was an odd looking life form or whatever, and this guy being a marine biologist, they wanted his opinion, like for him to sit in with this thing and like interact with it. And so he says, like in the audio thing, which you don't ever get to hear the audio, it's just whatever this guy's saying, because it's like it's unfinished, like something may have happened to the guy, like he may have died, because this guy posted this article when he was like 60 something years old, and maybe something really happened and he couldn't finish. But then the audio, it talks about like which you know, you don't get to hear the audio, you just whatever this guy says the audio is. And he talks about like how whenever he had walked into the room with this thing that had a large head, large eyes that were like a dark color or whatever, with big pupils, small tiny body or whatever, no hair, was like a brownish green color, or like a pale gray, I guess you could say, like a, you know, pale gray but brownish pale gray. And he looked over at it, and it looked up at him, and it said, "Help me, they don't believe I'm human." And he said chills ran down his like spine whenever this thing said that. So he pulls up a chair and he sits down, and he starts talking to it, and he like makes a drawing of what it looks like, and he starts asking it questions like, you say that you're human or whatever like that, like, what do you mean? He said, I'm human, and they don't believe me. And so he starts questioning a little bit more about what's going on, and he gets the information like that the alien or creature or something, the old shriveled human looking guy, was from like maybe thousands of years in the future, and with the that the humanity around the early 21st century started like to die out because of like global catastrophes and things that had happened, and the only way for a lot of humanity to live, because they couldn't live above ground, was to move underground, while a few of the other like humans at the time went into space. And living underground, certain like features started happening, like there was there was no sunlight, everyone started losing their hair, their eyes got a little bigger to make up for the poor lighting, they had ration type food, so they got real skinny and didn't like eat much, so and everything kind of just shrank on them except for their minds, because that's all they had to like to do was like think and make ways for them to survive underground, until one day the scientists from his time period devised a way to like repopulate the earth and bring fresh gene data like DNA into the gene pool, because everything, they were so interbreeding like in the future that they were starting to die. So that their idea was use a time machine, go back in time, retrieve DNA samples to then bring to the future, or bring people to the future to start civilization over again. Well, this creature, which the guy called Kree, Kree, said that he and two other scientists got into this round disc-shaped object and went to the past, and upon doing so, it like alerted the like inhabitants of that time, to where they came and shot at it or whatever, and it went down, killing like two of the passengers and only leaving him alive. And whenever this creature had told this doctor dude this, it's like his name's like Tim Schumacher or something like that, he got like just real quiet, and didn't know what to think of it. And this, and like talked with this thing for like a few more hours or something, and then was finally told to leave and to give like a written statement document about like what he thought about this thing, if this thing could be telling the truth or whatever. And he said that he had heard that the creature eventually like lost like an arm. It gave up the will to live because nobody would release it back to go back to its own time to fulfill its mission. And so doing that, it just went to like a super depression, went blind, and died. Just gave up, will to live thing. And like that's shortly after that, the guy, like Tim whatever Schumacher his name was or something, that's when he started like just thinking, well, if this is true, then we've doomed ourselves to repeat our own history by not listening to this thing, to not providing it with what it needed. And so like it just changed the guy. It made him go into like a type of depression. He couldn't tell anybody because he like had the had to sign something saying that he couldn't mention it and couldn't talk about it, like a protection thing. And so that's why he was so angry all the time with people, because he couldn't tell them this information. And I don't know if it's true or not. It just makes a lot of sense, especially the fact that like it's supposed to be the story that this guy was telling. He was telling it back in like the 80s or something like that, when he was like 60 something years old, or I don't know how old this guy was. Let's say, when did that happen? The whole Area 51 thing, was it 47? So and if he was like a teenager back then, this guy, because he's reading like comic books and he was like early teens, and if he was 65-ish years old when coming out with a story, that would be like what, about 50 years? So maybe the early 90s, I guess, 40 to in 50, 90, something like that. Late 80s, early 90s, whenever he came out with the story about what this thing said happened in the future and to cause civilization to move underground. And it's really interesting because that stuff's actually happening right now. You know, like wild weather and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I found that story fascinating. And then again, this is like maybe the second time I've talked about it, but it's just stuff like that. Like, I don't know if it was the imagination of someone who wanted a cool alien story or something like that, but if it's true, because it was shortly after like the whole Roswell thing, we started coming out with like tiny microchips and Velcro and all that kind of stuff. And who's to say like the technology that we have today was stolen from our like future descendants or something like that, you know, from the future. So it's like it turns it into like a type of time loop or whatever, or not a paradox, but like a fixed state in time to where it's always going to happen. Like no matter what we do, like say you write down
Night Off Seal says, just like all the people that talk about movies with aliens and stuff being made just to get us prepared for the future.
Yeah, I had remember like reading something about that somewhere or hearing about it, like the say for instance the movie Stargate and the show Stargate. What if that was actually some true stuff, you know, and it's just kind of like softly trying to prepare everybody for stuff, like you have the idea of well, hold on, I'm getting because I'm worried about these things taking over this thing here. Hold on a second. Get rid of them real quick. Like, you know, what is it, Close Encounters of the Third Kind or whatever. Like, what if that actually really happened? And it was like the information was leaked somehow, and they had to change it up a little bit. Or I've always thought, like, what if, was it Jules Verne too that came out with Journey to the Center of the Earth, where it's not so much the center as it is like little caverns that are like way under the earth, you know, that actual creatures that we think are extinct live under there for like being protected or something from us. You know, like the mystical world that we think is not real is real. It's just not for us to see anymore because humanity came along and started killing everything that they didn't understand. Which is everything, because we love to consume, consume, kill, and whatever, and control, or whatever we are. Or what, you know. But I like to think that, like, maybe Jules Verne had, like, information from someone who really experienced something, or overheard it, and then created a book out of it. Wouldn't that be interesting? And like actually saw physical evidence that someone really did experience or something. I always think like that. Like, what if like, all these stories that you hear about there's some truth to them, but there's just a little bit of information left out so that you can't really figure it out, you know. Like Independence Day, the movie, you know, them coming down. What if something like that really did happen and we just don't remember it? Or Men in Black. What if that like is real? Which there's a lot of evidence to suggest that it is a type of real. You know, but some of that information had leaked, and you know, to keep it quiet, they come out with it, like with a certain story to almost make it seem as though it's fantasy. But it's true. Like, you know, for instance, Star Trek, playing it right now. The communicator, well, it's a real thing. Transparent aluminum. In Star Trek, what is it, 4? The Voyage Home, where Scotty like gives the formula for transparent aluminum. It's only like an inch thick versus 6 inches thick. That's real now. I mean, but I always heard that Gene Roddenberry like went to NASA scientists and
Night
stuff.
Off Seal says, well, think back a month or so, the Gov was going to give up all those UFO info stuff and it just never happened.
Yeah, it's like they gave us just a little bit, a little taste of stuff, or just something to keep us there and you know, just keep us quiet in a way to where we're not asking too many questions. There was that one UFO guy that talked about it being a watered down version of the truth. Like there's a whole lot more like you can, you know, you can download the document and read it and it's only like a few pages. No, that's our version, the version that we can see versus the actual version that they probably do have and did have to, like, you know, show or whatever. And I guess we're never going to know that. But that guy that always posts these videos of stuff, though, he's always talking about, like, new stuff he's going to be posting. And some of it, yeah, it can, you know, he's a filmmaker, so it makes you think, is he making this stuff up? But other parts of it make you think, hey, hold on a minute. I mean, even myself, like, I've seen something before, but I can't tell you exactly what it is. I mean, I don't understand. Like, just because, you know, you say you don't understand what you're looking at doesn't mean that it's like this or it's that or whatever. But like, I went outside to my vehicle one night and I can't remember what I was getting out of there, and I look up and there's like this oval shaped, like a pill shaped or whatever, white glow that was just there, and it's like it just like zoomed down and then it slowed and it went behind some trees, but it didn't really emit any light. And I didn't know if it was like just it's almost like one of those, you think of it like a Chinese lantern or whatever, like those little flaming lanterns, but it's like it just went down into the trees. And I was like, holy shit, what the hell was that? I go back inside, I'm like, they say, why do you look so pale? Like, I think I just saw something weird. But I don't know what it was. It could have been my mind playing tricks on me. It could be like that scene from Phenomenon with what's his name? Damn, John Travolta, where it's like a flash and all of a sudden he gets his powers. But I didn't get any powers from it. Damn it. I don't know. That stuff's always fascinated me. That's why, like, I wish, like, you live long enough to experience, like, things like that. Like, you know, the truth about things. Like, what if this was real or that was real, and you're, or what if, like, for instance, the aliens that are real or were or whatever are just invisible, and we have one attached to us all the time, kind of like observing, and they could be like standing right next to you or behind you or whatever like that, just, you know, wondering, what are they doing? Do they even know I'm here? You know, I think about that stuff all the time, and that makes me crazy because I don't think like everyone else does. Okay, what endeavors did we do? We need to go defeat some Tholians on the ground. Then we're gonna do that. But I like the information about stuff that's weird and different. You know, like you hear about the like Dead Sea Scrolls and stuff, and like alien stuff back in the day, and like pyramids and all that stuff is just fascinating. Or maybe like, you know, remembering stuff. I always tell people like, you know, you're not experiencing the future, you're remembering the future whenever you like dream and stuff, like stuff that's actually going to happen somewhere. We just can't put it all together correctly, and until it happens, like deja vu. You know, what if that memory is like implanted into your head somehow from somewhere, and only when that moment when it happens is a point where it like catches up with you? Or is it from a parallel universe that's happening right then, and you're actually seeing what your other self is seeing, just like a fraction before you see it? It's just little ideas that always pop into my head about stuff like that. That makes me weird. And whenever I talk to like customers, I'll get into a discussion with some customers. Sometimes they'll get lengthy, and they'll like look at me like, "Man, what do you need to like? You be thinking about other stuff that's more important than that." I'm thinking, well, I'm just thinking. I mean, I'm using my brain for stuff that other people just don't. I mean, there'd be people that just think about, you know, what they're gonna do the next day. Me, I'm thinking about what I'm gonna be doing in the future or the past or whatever it is. I had like one time I was like I was going to sleep, and this idea popped into my head called the answers, and I started scribbling down everything about this idea. Like, say, it'll be like a movie about everything that's happened forever, and it all starts with this one person who's invented time travel that gets into the time travel chamber, and as soon as they do, that's when the Big Bang happened, like in the past. And then like you kind of experience like the evolution of the universe and of everything through the eyes of this person, like getting reincarnated. So like they turn into like this dinosaur, and you watch them through that eyes, and then when they die, they turn into this or whatever and experience this, and then to the final moment where they they're themselves and about to step into this thing, which starts the loop all over again. And I don't know, I got it written down somewhere. It's like a little idea that I had. It's like just all this information about stuff. And I don't know, I think differently than a lot of people. I've always said that, I think. Like I thought maybe it'd be a cool thing if they had a documentary about the life of a penny. And I tell people, and they're like, man, you need to just, I don't know what kind of imagination you got, but you need to get into the real world. I'm like, I'm in the real world. I'm just thinking about stuff. And because I've always thought, like, where is it? Oh, I got one. Well, it's not the actual suit that I should be wearing, though, is it? Let's see. Have I been playing with that? No, I haven't been playing with that. Oh, whatever. But could you just imagine, right? Like, this penny gets molded in like 1940 something or whatever, and you see it like as a blank first, like it's born. Then it's like, compressed down and printed, put into a roll, given to a bank, and then the first person that gets it, and you like observe the whole time the penny is with that person, what that person's going through, like their life or whatever. And then the penny jumps to, say, a register at a store, and you see like the interaction between someone behind the register and their customer or their business, and then that penny goes to a customer, and you see their life, and it just continues, until, say, I'm thinking like visually in my head, I'm seeing like the penny getting put into like a little coin collector thing where it sits there for the rest of its life. And I don't know if I could probably find that interesting. It's almost like the movie where the dog keeps coming back to life. Damn, I can't think of that movie. Too bad I don't have a Google bot or something. Just say, Google, look for this. Damn. I'm gonna look for it real quick. Hold on a second. Dog Comes Back to Life movie? Dog's Journey. Yeah. That's what it is. It's like the Dog's Journey, but a penny version. And I thought about that a long time ago, like when I was in like high school and stuff, and because I would look at a teacher and I said, "You ever wonder what the life of a penny is?" And they'd say, "Just keep doing your homework." You're like, okay, whatever. Let's not talk about it. But yeah, it'd be a cool little thing to do if someone ever did. I know I wouldn't. Maybe I'm thinking about some project someone else has been planning. I don't know. Need to look into like remote viewing. Maybe that's what I'm doing. I'm remote viewing someone else's idea and coming out with it before they do. I don't know, or suggesting it. I don't know. Remote viewing is pretty interesting. There's still that document out there on the CIA website you can view about the CIA recruiting people who can remote view to spy on like the Soviets back in the Cold War and China and all that kind of stuff, and vice versa, them having their own remote viewers. And that one session of a remote viewer that's given coordinates to what turns out to be Mars a million years ago, and what he observes when remote viewing, and the devastation they see, and people freaking out that are like 9 foot tall and wearing shiny type clothing or something, and like evacuating and all this kind of stuff or whatever like that. Big commotion and devastation. And they're like, they hand him like the envelope at the very end of it that tells him where he was remote viewing yet, because they just gave him like, you know, spatial coordinates versus certain ones. And while he's under doing the remote viewing, like talks about all this stuff, and it makes me think of that movie with Gary Sinise where they're on Mars and they find out that life came from Mars and there was devastation on the planet, so the Martian people like genetically modified something or whatever to send it to the nearest planet to survive, and it turned out to be humans in Earth or whatever. I don't know. The good movies back in the day. Good ideas. I like those. We gotta wonder, like the pyramids they've said they found on Mars that match the ones we have here, and in like certain things that was it he's an older guy now, but he said like his father was part of some project where they teleported people, you know, and teleported them to the to Mars, the moon, and all these other places. Like you step through this little gateway and you're all of a sudden on Mars. And that they had like experiments here on Earth that could transport somebody from the United States all around like to the other side of the world in less than a second. Which is like transporters, I guess, from Star Trek. And Gene Roddenberry, you know, maybe he got the idea from something he may have read. I don't know. It's just stuff out there that's weird. It's almost like that cult over there in Hollywood, that Grove place that they worship an owl god and sacrifice a hay virgin every once in a while. And that like the Clintons and Obamas and even the Bushes have been there, and Nixon and Reagan back in the day. Well, I've already got all the stuff for this. I'm just sitting there talking and jabbering. Look at me, I'm just jabbering. Talking out of my head again. Okay. Need to find a place to get out of here to go do that, so we need to stop getting shot at. I don't know. I've talked about this before when playing Ryza and stuff. But, you know, kind of run out of stuff to talk about. And then I get excited and start talking about it again. And I shouldn't. I should think of new stuff. Which there's a lot of new stuff. I just give me on a subject matter and I'm after it, you know. I tell everybody that. It's like, I tell everybody, am I going to be trapped in this thing? Yes, I am trapped in Nukara, sun. Okay, this is another one of the glitches in the game here, where you get trapped inside the spherical part of a sun. And there's an escape out of this without having to change anything. Like, let me try it. It's really difficult sometimes. Gotta go up, get about level with the wherever you're at. Turn into the middle of it. Okay. Then go into it, the middle of it, right, boom. Go into the center of a sun if you're trapped inside of one, and it will teleport you to the center of the map. Bam. It's a little trick that gets forgotten. It only happens around like Nukara or whatever it's pronounced as, and some other place. But it's like a default like reset that's built into every one of these suns. Like a little thing, like if ship equals in here, teleport gamer here or whatever. Okay, we have one more to do, which is complete defense of Starbase One. Nope, we got that and this to do. Destroy Voth ships. We'll do that. Let's go to Dyson, which we were probably just around. There we go. I'm sorry about rambling. I just get so excited about things. I've been known to be like the people tell me to shut up. Customers go, "Do you ever be quiet?" Here lately, it's been shut the F up though. I can't help it. When people come in and I tell them hello, they say, "What are you so cheerful for?" I'm like, "I'm sorry. Let me be more like you." like the guy we call Mr. Frowns now. I looked over there and like the light was on one of the registers, and I was like, you know, "Oh, your last one destroy his herald ships because this is in the way." Hold on, let me get that. No, I can't get that out of the way. I can't read that because my chat box is like I'm reading your stuff down here. Destroy herald ships and close the TFOs. The quest for them sucks. Government always up to all those uses. Right. Okay. Yeah. On the Voth. We need to go to round battle zone. Last one, destroy herald ships, but no one is playing those TFOs quest. Hey, I could help. Well, it takes like what, 5 people?
Night Zeal says, table here.
Table here. Yes, take me to the battle zone. Yeah, Hyconian stuff just sucks. I forget a lot of the story behind the Iconian. Oh, I don't need to be here, really. I need to be up in my ship. Destroy 30 Voth. I mean, I could probably help you with whatever you need, but you know, if you're doing a TFO about herald ships and stuff, it still takes 5 people to be there. Unless, like, well, I don't know, other people have to have the same endeavors you're getting, so there has to be somebody out there somewhere. Voth ships. Let's see. Ooh, there's one over there. Surrounded by a bunch of just random people. Alright. Damn, this is when I think I should have warp speed in here. Warp speed.
Night Zeal says, no, it's fine, 30 ships is just takes forever and people probably just reroll them and I am out of rerolls.
Ah. That's why I save a lot of my rerolls. That's why I tough out some of these that I do. These I wish it'd be cool if you could say like share one or buy them like you know, with dilithium or something like that. That one right there says there's a ship, but he's okay. He's not. Run around the solar system, the monkey chased the weasel. Defense of Starbase One. Universal Endeavor Prize. I got 29 reroll tokens. I try my best to do like the actual TFOs and stuff, but sometimes you have to reroll, like the other day when I had to reroll. We've been taking forever. And I so need to like figure more out about like killing on here. Ooh, they kicking my ass. They are kicking my ass. Swap over our main here for his actual. Oh, can't do that. Okay, well, hold on. We'll do that later then. Target shields failed. Yay. Barely got anything out of that. I love critical. I never really understood it a long time ago, and now I'm getting to where I like seeing it. Gonna boo beam again. Okay, here we are. Okay. Oh, there's somebody right there. They're going after it too. Oh, they're going after those Voth. I'm gonna go after him too to get credit. Ooh, they got some good shielding. Let's drain some of those shields. Oh, I love my shield drain. Oh man. Wish I could have the legendary version of this ship so I could put that extra console on it. That's gonna be one of my dreams. Guess I can go back in time and spend $300 on it. A virtual ship. I would like to put one together though. Reminds me like I just had that random brain fart memory of whenever I was making my little Enterprise like action figures and the homemade cardboard bridge and the model of the Enterprise D, and I put like I got what was it? Black construction paper. Poked a bunch of holes in it to screw it and went to finish at the Pahvo. Yeah, sometimes if you don't have the reroll and you don't want to like spend the time for that, sometimes it's best to just push on and keep on going. But I had the construction paper, and back then it was analog TV, which was like snow on your TV screen or whatever, or whatever. And ooh, look at that! Damn, they chopped my shields to shit. Damn. But so I would use like the static from the TV, and I would put I would poke holes in a bunch of construction paper, some black construction paper, fill up the TV with it and make it look like it was stars twinkling, and then I would have my Enterprise D like hanging off of like strings and stuff, and like slowly like moving it with just a little bit of illuminated light around it to where it would, you can actually see it on like camera, and I would like have it as that's the star field behind it, Then I watched that episode of Reading Rainbow with LeVar Burton, where it had a behind the scenes of Star Trek Next Generation, how they made like this show and how they did the glitter sparkle of transporter effect using actual glitter they stirred or something like that, framed it a certain way. I always thought that was pretty interesting. I could take you out on my little tiny ship, I tell you it. Cheaters. Cheaters, every one of you cheaters. There has to be a different place to go to get Herald ships. I know the quest, like, all that can really suck. But there should be like a Herald battle zone, Like there is for the Zenkethi and the Voth and all the Undine and all that.
Night Off Zeal says, I wish they just had a battle zone yet.
Well, let's post on the forums and get everybody in on it. I'm sure they'll... Yeah, they won't. All they're doing, like, for the TFOs, though, is, or for those endeavors, is to get people to actually play the TFOs and stuff that nobody ever really plays just because they want to. I'm sure there's little factions out there of, like, Star Trek players that do, but, like
Night
that.
Off Zeal says, forums, oh yeah, we all just reroll that endeavor.
Yeah, hey, you gotta make a forum post out there and say which endeavor do you most likely like re-roll, just to see like what everyone would say. Unless that's already a thing. A lot of times, they're out there, but be careful, you might get banned. There was a forum moderator when I started posting on the forums that I was just joking about, like one of the higher ups and stuff, and just playing around, and they like banned me or something for a few days, and I was like, man, that was kind of harsh. I was just joking, and never really responded back to me. It was like Bad Moon Rising moderator, and I noticed like every once in a while I like see if he's like responded, and it'll say he hasn't been online in like since February of 2020. And I thought, oh man, what if something happened to him, you know? Because I started thinking about it. And then I found out like he's not on there because of reasons. Like I found like a just random Reddit post somewhere, and you know, and then they have the one about the mods like abusing their power and whatnot. You know, like they can just ban you for no reasons whatsoever, or block or stop a post because of what you're talking about. And I think that's just so wrong. Let people talk about more stuff. Bring them into the conversation. If it gets really bad, then do it. You know, or give a warning first. But no, it's a lot of them just abuse that power. Kaboom. 16 of 30. Oh, the Voth are everywhere up in here. Look at that. Wow. Why do I keep going after the damn big ship? Every time I turn around, there's that big Citadel ship. Stop shooting at it. Oh, wait. What kind of weapons am I doing? Let me get all these going on here. I may look into that chemosite thing, too. Just randomly just bumped into my head then. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Reverse polarity. Barely does anything. Well, it saved me. That's not bad. That reverse polarity is pretty awesome. I could probably down it down to a different level, though, instead of 3. $21, $30. Maybe we should venture more out into the game. Like, you know, talking about like getting other ships and actually building them up and whatnot. I never thought about it really. I just wanted one ship and that's all, and I finally got it. And now I want the better version of it, which costs lots of monies. It's very rare. Gotta admit, whenever they had the legendary story missions there, where all the Enterprise ships and stuff just pop into existence, and hearing the voice actors like reels from the show, you know, it's like from episodes of the actual shows, but it gave me chills like the first time I saw it. Thought that's pretty awesome. Okay, I get 24. I need 6 more. I'm not going about this strategically. I'm just kind of just jumping around, doing stuff. I've never seen as many Voths just randomly out here. Wow. I need to find a good Owen Wilson wow sound. I don't know. Our sound's annoying. And then like a Twitch chat. But they make it worse. I mean, I've seen other people using them, and I don't know, like, if it's a bad thing or good thing or whatever. I think it makes it more fun. I need to get that one of Scotty that's from, what is that? Naked, it's not Naked Gun, it's Loaded Weapon, I think. The movie with, it's got William Shatner playing a weird character, and it's got Jim Doohan that played Scotty, and his only like cameo role is he's like works for the police, and this captain is walking around for the police and he's yelling. He says, "Scotty, you know, what do you got?" And he's like, and James Doohan pops up and does it to Scotty voice. He goes, "I'm giving it all she's got, Captain, but if I push it any farther, she's gonna blow." And he goes back down. He's like working on like an espresso machine. It makes me laugh every time I watch that clip. Something. I saw it just the other day too, and I was just randomly going through like YouTube stuff. it just jumped out at me like, man, I need to like get that audio clip. Spend perk points. Let's see. Exotic image space. What are we at there? Exotic is low. Damage from a source that is not a weapon. So I guess an explosion? Anti-proton. Let's up the anti-proton. I don't know. I need to look up what exotic damage is actually. Okay, now we can do... What is this one? Defense of Starbase One. Let's go for that TFO. Defense of Starbase One. Right there. I select the wrong rep upgrade and spent like 90,000
Night Off
dilithium.
Seal says, that just tells me I am too tired to do this.
Yeah. The personal shield. Oh my gosh. That has to bite right there.
Listen up. The war has not been going well.
There's what is it? Is it one of the admiralities that you can get is it reputation for not a bonus pool? I swear there was something about it's not Klingon. Like rep for your reputation dilithium voucher.
Here they come.
I could have sworn. I don't know what that's from though. I don't know if it's like a special something. I've used it before. I think maybe I even still have some left over.
We're prepping for evac
Nope.
of non-essential
I've
personnel
used it
and
all up.
civilians.
Because this populates, you know. I never noticed that before. Fire. Mr. Cash off. Head warp factor 2. If I had time, I could actually like play this game and learn more about it. Damn it, I'm always at work. I wanted to try to squeeze in like a bunch of games, do stuff. Because even though this game is broken, damn, she's fun. It's like, you know, you can't really lose at this game, so there's no real challenge except playing against each other, I guess. But because, you know, you respawn. Okay, well, you blow up, you respawn, you know. You can progress with your mission because, you know, respawning. There's nothing to say, okay, I can't. Like, if you blow up, start over at the beginning, you know. Be like a challenge. Or maybe you can put the difficulty up higher. I don't know. I have mine set to normal. I forgot all about difficulty for these games. Ooh, we dying. They see me dying. I go in to Dyson. Ooh. Fleet support, I swear, used to be able to be clicked at any time. And that was back whenever I'd hover over it and it would cause the screen to skip frames and stuff. Respawn. I didn't get asked for help tonight.
There's a break in incoming warp signatures. We may have a short amount of time before more arrive.
Or I either didn't get asked to do it all. Bam. Got a shock there when it's like
Reading some heavier ships incoming. Raiders and battle.
my shuttle blows up, you know, because I don't have it like prepared, you know, because there's only like what 3 or 4 missions that require a shuttle, and I'm like, I'm not about to like equip this thing for bullshit. I mean, who cares?
Night Off Seal says, like that one buddy of yours yesterday being tired. It's like, dude, just go to bed. It's fine.
Yeah.
Relationship is launching.
I only met the dude on here like what was it the other day when he followed this stream and hosted and asked me to help, and I was like, yeah, sure, you know, I'll help, but let me do everything for you. I don't mind it. It was just, you know, dude, what in the world? Jasmine, my God, look at that. Thing's reaching across my whole screen. assignment buffs everywhere. Oh my gosh. I never think about assignment buffs to actually make my ship greater. I kind of gave up on the whole duty officer thing, but my goodness, I've never seen someone stretched out that far. Assignment buff, starship shield systems, restoration
Night
speed.
Seal says, yeah, I need those assignment buffs.
My God, look at all this stuff. Here I am with 2. Yeah, I don't play enough to really know what the hell's going on half the time. I baby play. I just like roam around my own little place. Like there's an enemy, I'm gonna go over here, you know. Wow. Man, gosh, though. Brace for impact. I've never been one of those people to actually, you know, strategically sit there and say, okay, I'm gonna buff this. I'm gonna do that.
Our shields are taking hits, and we could use an escort.
Yeah, you could use an escort. Too bad I'm not an escort.
Night Seal says, I think I have 4 assignment buffs if I'm lucky, but I can stack like 20 abilities.
Yeah. I never think about that stuff. Coordination protocol. I don't even know what this is. I mean, I didn't click on this.
The Klingons are
Hull
regrouping
stress.
again.
Ooh, I got a
Get into
damage.
position to prepare for the next assault.
Hull stress. Look at that. Nice. It's very rare I get damage. It's like that time on Rise I got a concussion and someone fixed me. I wanted to see how long I can have a concussion. I didn't think a character could actually get a concussion. Like, what is it? I didn't even have time to look up what it did until they fixed me. I just mentioned it. I said, hey, I got a concussion. And they go, thanks. The little things. What does that damage actually do? I need to read that real quick while I'm being destroyed. -2 all damage resistant rate. It's only -2, so I got this. It's alright. What's -2? Hey, who cares, right? My crew's signed up to get destroyed. Who cares?
Requesting assistance.
Randomly click on everything like a pro.
An evacuation ship is launching.
Do like they're doing. Get everything. That's why I have my weapons on auto. I press spacebar one time and they just start shooting. And then he like starts shooting the newest thing. Oh, somebody's giving me. Oh, pirates are okay. Hey man, I'm gonna help you, Mr. Roosevelt. How is you? I need to look into that. Kabloom. Yeah, it's like I was telling dude yesterday. I said this game will always be here. I mean, if you gotta rest, you know, go to sleep. Yeah, like this kind of auto where it's kind of like highlighted in green. 'Cause my ship's always firing on stuff, and I don't mean to. Like if I want to sneak by something, just start shooting stuff.
Can you draw off some of those enemy ships?
Night Seal says, I should just map the abilities to the mouse buttons and just cheat it.
Yeah, there you go. just click one button and they all load up. Call that the lazy captain? Or is it the smart one? Or do like Adam Savage and make like a Star Trek command chair.
Night Seal says, Wowmo style.
I'm gonna pass on all that. I don't want any of it. I don't have room for it. Well, I got a canister. That's cool. But yeah, Adam Savage, if you ever watch his tested channel on YouTube, he designed like a TOS, like actual captain's chair, and had a guy like wire it up to where it made sounds and the switches did stuff. You know, like you can call Scotty and for engineering, and that could be something you could do. Like if you're really into playing this game, make a chair and wire it up to where you know, like buttons from keyboards and stuff are like wired to the chair a certain way. You press a button and it starts actually firing. Maybe you can like build a thing around your monitor, you know, like you're in a shuttle. I don't think I'd ever go that far. or dress up in Star Trek attire while playing the game. I've known people to do that playing NASCAR. Okay, we got that. Not gonna get one tomorrow. Emergency endeavor there. Mark package. What are we low on? Because I think I've got enough fleet credits for a while. Fleet, no, for marks. There's marks. Yeah. 2,792. Omega. We'll get Omega. We don't have that many. All right. Let me check. Go slower through here so I don't hit a wall. Probably end up getting attacked though. The defenseless starship. Right here. Holdings. I went onto the Discord for this this Federation Disciples fleet. Like me and one other dude are the only two that ever post anything on there. It's a dead fleet. I wish I could find a better one. But it's been kind of interesting leveling it up, though. It makes me wonder, like, if I could ever start my own, but I know that I couldn't do it by myself. Maybe I can invite all my characters in and have them all in one fleet. I don't know, that'd be a lot of resources to have to go through. And it sucks that you can't just start one by yourself. You gotta have, like, multiple people. Why can't you be in multiple fleets? It's like being this one for this week and, hey, I'm over here, you know.
Night Off Zeal says, I was just happened to find a fleet that had the research upgraded so I can buy the extra ability slots.
Ah. Oh, you mean like a, where is it, the traits, maybe? Like the reputation slots, the extra one on this side? Like from, Fleet Research Station, I think, in the Delta Quadrant?
Night Off Zeal says, yeah, the extra traits.
Okay, yeah. I wanted to do that for all of them, but I didn't have enough, like, stuff. I probably would now had I not, like, wasted on the credits. Wasting it on the provisions to upgrade the dilithium. Which is, where's it at? Let's see. Hasn't moved since I put any in there. Well, hell, here we go. Let's get like however many we can get. 2. Let's get the other 2 we can put in here. There you go. Look. Now we've gone up to 7. Yeah, 1,467. Yay, we've progressed. Go me. These people don't even care, man. Show offline players. I swear I clicked on that. It's still lighting up. It's probably going to crash the game. See status. Show offline players. Last online. 8-7. It's been lately. Nobody's doing anything though. What the hell? I guess they're contributing, sort of. I have 2 of my characters. I have my O'Neill character in this same fleet because I invited myself to it so that I can contribute from him as well. Yeah, I need to save up a fleet. What is it, like 100,000 fleet credits or something like that to purchase? Oh. Minute here, I'm about to pass out, but Dilithium just passed away, so I have a good... Okay, well, thanks for coming and watching again, even though, you know, this is one of the most boring players in the world that I am. But I do enjoy your company, like, you know, chatting and stuff is awesome. Talking about the game. Just about anything in particular. You have a good night, too. Sweet. I'm about to head off anyway, too. Oh, there's Stivers. Hello, Mr. Stivers. Okay, bye. Yeah, I'm gonna call that too. Later, everybody. What we're gonna do? Play out a thing here. Out at the old ball game. And of course, who can forget?
I have had enough of you!